What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the F1 2016 Career Mode Championship. This is round number 4 here for the Russian Grand Prix. I urge you, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, I recommend you go check those out to see what's happening with this Career Mode Championship. Now, the big change for this episode, like I said in the previous one, is that we're switching to Ultimate Difficulty. So, the AI are overall going to be around about a second quicker, maybe slightly a bit more, and also we're also going to switch the damage model to simulation damage. So the damage model is just going to be that much more sensitive, and it's just going to make things that much more interesting when we come in contact with other AI cars. So if you haven't noticed there, the Toro Rosso team have applied a lot, and I mean a lot, of updates to their car. They've moved up several places in the pecking order, and now they are just behind Red Bull Racing. That is just crazy, the amount of progression that they've managed to make in just one race. Some teams decide to hold back some of their resource points and then use them all in one go, and then they have this massive, absolutely huge performance jump relative to the rest of the field. So you'll probably notice that in your own career mode, or maybe at different points in the season, some teams just come out of nowhere and just knock it out of the park with their performance. So it's definitely very interesting to see how the ebbs and flows of the pecking order are going to be this season. We're steadily making improvements. We try and aim for a upgrade at, one every race, maybe one every 2 races if we can. Like I said, I'm aiming to work on the downforce aspects of the car, and also trying to reduce the weight of the chassis wherever I can, because we are coming up to really important high downforce tracks, that is Spain and Monaco. So I especially want to improve the downforce facets of this car before we get to those 2 racetracks. So if we can, the next upgrade for the downforce is something to do with the monkey seat. But then after that, the next upgrade is a massive one. It's for the front wing cascades, and that just gives extra front downforce, and that's going to be huge for us in terms of improving the performance of this Mana car coming into a track like Monaco. So here we are for practice number 2, I believe. I did the track acclimatization in practice 1, and then it started raining about halfway through the session, so I had to abort the tyre wear test not far into that session. And now, as you can see, I tried out the qualifying pace, and the goals set for my car were just really high, and I wasn't able to beat the qualifying pace target. So I moved on to the tyre wear test, and as you can see here, we are down on that delta as well. We've hit the wall. We have hit the wall, and that is our first accident in the Mana. And I don't imagine the team boss is going to be too happy. That doesn't look too good for me as well, switching it up to ultimate difficulty where the pressure was on, trying to get a lap time within the green. And yeah, got on the curb and got on the power a little bit too early, and that was all she wrote. That was the end of the session, and practice 2 has just been an absolute disaster for us. But we did end up in 19th place in that failed attempt at trying to beat the qualifying pace time. So I decided to try my luck again for practice 3, and the tyre wear test went really well. The tyre wear was a lot better than expected around Russia. It's a really low tyre wear kind of track anyway, so I don't imagine we'll be phased too much with the tyre wear. So I managed to get perfect score with the tyre wear test, and now we're moving on to the qualifying pace. And practice 3, for some reason, I just felt a lot quicker straight out of the box. I'm not too sure why. Maybe the track conditions were better or faster, and that allowed me to easily beat those targets set by the team. So that was really encouraging that we were still able to get a perfect score right across the Friday practice session. So that has been all 3 practice sessions. It takes a long time for me to work through all of these programs, but in the end, it's going to be worth it when this car is much quicker near the end of this season. We've got a new rival.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
Okay, so let's see who the new rival is. It is Sergio Perez of Force India. Now, we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot here because we're on ultimate difficulty. There's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to beat him now.
Welcome back to Sochi. We're about to be joining the action down in the pit lane as the cars get ready to embark on their qualifying runs.
So here we are for Saturday qualifying now. The practice 3 session went really well for us. We were somewhere like 13th or 14th in that session, so that's kind of the aim for this qualifying session. We might end up a little bit lower than that, so we'll have to just keep on pushing, see where we end up at the end of this session. First lap was a 139.381, which puts us in P11 at the moment. It's currently last of everyone who has set a time at the moment, making a mistake on my second lap there. Didn't really matter too much because I was down on my personal best anyway. So if you look at the tyre wear there, it was 6%. So I was like, hang on a second, I've only got one other fresh set of tyres to use. So I thought, you know, the current set that I just used weren't too worn. So I was like, okay, let's just go out again with even less fuel than what we did in our first run and just see if we can improve. And I actually did manage to improve by just over a tenth. So that was a massive success there, that we're able to, I don't know, get ourselves accustomed to the track a little bit more with just the same set of tyres and improve our time at the same time. So this is the end of the session. 3 laps of fuel, fresh tyres, our last set of super soft tyres, by the way. So we've got to make our mark now at the end of this session. We are up by 2 tenths, 2.5 tenths, something like that. We are absolutely flying through this middle sector, and this is, again, another really good lap. I seem to get in the zone with this Mana car in terms of the 1 lap pace. I just seem to like get the most out of the car, but we are P20 at the moment and down the order quite a bit. Pascal Wehrlein, I think, is in position 18, so I'd love to get in front of him if I can. That's ultimately the goal. Now on ultimate difficulty, the benchmarks have been reset, so I've just got to beat my teammate in the exact same machinery as myself. This Mana car has improved, and we are just about on the verge of being faster than the Sauber car, so I'd love to out-qualify those guys as well. Up to the line, P20.
Sorry about that. Just wasn't on a day.
P20 is not too bad, considering it is ultimate difficulty. But in the end, we did get beaten by our teammate. Now, it's a matter of by how much. Lewis Hamilton gets pole position from Max Verstappen, 0.06 of a second separating those guys. And Sebastian Vettel is very close as well. Daniel Ricciardo, P4. Let's scroll down and see where we ended up versus Pascal. So it was less than a tenth separating myself and Pascal. You know, I can't really complain about that. It's very, very close between the teammates there. I think if I would have got 18th on the grid, that would have been the absolute maximum from qualifying. I only had another tenth or two in that lap. So, yeah, very, very close session, and I'm very much looking forward to the race.
Welcome one and all to the Russian Grand Prix. We're just a stone's throw from the Georgian border here at Sochi as we get ready to begin the race that served up an absolute cracker back in 2015. A last lap collision between Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas sparked controversy in that race, so let's hope the racing is just as tight today.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, so here we are on the grid of the Russian Grand Prix. Ultimate difficulty starting from 20th place on the grid. This is going to be a tough race, there's no doubt about that. The race strategy is a one-stop, going from super softs to the softs. So a very low deg tyre wear track, so I don't imagine strategy will come into this all too much. So it's going to be all down to raw pace, trying to make up as much time as you can on the first lap, like always. But once again, the stakes are just upped, just that little bit more, being on the ultimate difficulty. Simulation damage as well for myself and the AI, so the likelihood of retirements, safety cars, is just going to be multiplied. It's time for the Russian Grand Prix, and away we go. Didn't even have time to say 5 red lights, but away we go. Pascal Wehrlein, average start. We're going to use his slipstream to propel ourselves towards the field in turn 1. No, turn 2 actually. We got an achievement. I don't really want to look at that. Look but never stare. Yeah, look but never stare at that achievement. Up to a 2-1, turn 2. Come on, Ben, get your commentary sorted. We're in P14 at the moment as we go up the inside of Grosjean there. I was squeezing him a lot more than what I was hoping to. I thought there was another car on my left-hand side, but I guess there wasn't. This is going to be trouble. Look at all these guys going up the inside of each other. A Force India spins. Rosberg is spun out as well. There's just a huge accident there. I've illegally overtaken Massa there, so I'll let him back through. Yellow flags. There's somebody back there has got to retire as we get another achievement. Launch maker. We've gained 18 more positions. Whatever. So 10 more positions than where we started from the race. So that was a nice little feat there. But just look at that massive accident. There was Perez. No, was that Hulkenberg? I think that was Hulkenberg and Nico Rosberg got spun out there. I'm going to try and get some on-board footage and see what happened there. The Haas has taken out Rosberg, the championship leader. Rosberg, Hamilton, and Vettel all lead the championship on 51 points. And now one of those contenders is out of the Russian Grand Prix. On board with the Force India, makes contact with Massa. And then up the road you can see Rosberg making contact with the Toro Rosso. Unbelievable scenes there. Massive pile-up. I was so lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. I just like fishtailed around everyone there and moved up inside the top 10. We sit 9th place at the moment with 2 points up against our name. But bear in mind, this is lap 2. Like, there's no way we're going to be able to hold on to this for the rest of the race. Massa is up next in 8th place, and we're using the slipstream. And now that DRS has been activated, we can actually pass him now and move up into P8. So that's been a great start so far. As you can see on the ground there, there's rain falling here on lap 3, I think it is. Lap 3, lap 4. So, yeah, the weather is going to play a part in this race now, which is only going to make this race even more crazy. We lock up the inside front there as I was switching to intermediate tyres for my incoming set. Losing the back end there, going wheel to wheel with Massa, and he takes back position 8. I'm not going to fight him too much because, Ben, what am I doing? What am I doing? Why am I trying to go around the outside of him? I'm not going to battle Felipe Massa. I'm not going to finish 8th place in this race. So what am I doing? Losing the back end like crazy. That's what I'm doing. Into the middle sector. The engineer is telling me about a viable strategy. And yes, he's asking to come in for a set of intermediate tyres. Well, you're behind the game, engineer, because I already set intermediates as my incoming set. I'm actually going to come in at the end of this lap and put on the inters. Perez and Massa are battling quite extensively here into the 3rd sector. And we're going to take advantage here. It looks like the AI don't really like pushing when it comes to dry tyres on a damp track. As we get up the inside of Perez there. Move ourselves back up into position 8. Let the team know that we're coming in on this lap. And I'd imagine a few other cars are going to come in as well. The grip on this lap just went completely out the window. The rain itself almost came out of nowhere. Like it was only, you know, just spinning at the start of lap 2, lap 3. And it got to the point within one lap that we had to switch to intermediate tyres. So that was a very drastic change from dry to intermediate weather now. So into the pits now. It's a very busy pit lane. I just hope that we don't get held up being at the end of this pit lane. And well, there you go. There you go. Absolutely terrible stop there. We got jumped by Massa. We got jumped by the Force India of Perez. And now we're having to find a way around him. This looks so slow on the gameplay, by the way. Just the intermediate conditions. I found the optimal steering lock and I just held it there. Like there was not going to be any more purchase from the front tires, and it just felt so slow through that fast left-hander. But yeah, we continue on. It's lap 4 now, and we're still holding down a points-paying position at the moment. And Valtteri Bottas. What has just happened? What has just happened? Valtteri Bottas is now out of the race. There's a virtual safety car. The cars in front of me have just stopped. Perez and Massa, they've now disappeared. So I'm like, what's going on here? I decided to keep going, and I honestly don't know what just happened there. So I just decided to just carry on, and we got a drive-through penalty. Like, you can't expect me, game, to just stop in the middle of a racetrack and almost cause a red flag. Like, there's no... I don't understand what was going on there, and the penalty there was just completely bullcrap. You can't expect anyone to stop in the middle of the racetrack. I didn't want to stay there for too long anyway because, like, I thought I would have been stuck there, and then the game probably would have disqualified me. So I thought it would probably be the lesser of the two evils if I just kept going and you know, be dealt whatever penalty came my way. And it turned out that I think it was Gutierrez got a drive-through penalty as well. He was right in front of me there. So Very, very annoying. We've gone from what was position 9 down to 14th place, and now we're absolutely struggling in the wet conditions. It's a lot of fun though, having to just like put on the power as early as you can and just catch the slides at the same time. It looks like we are fairly quick in the intermediate conditions though. We've actually managed to catch up to Jolie and Palmer there, and we're also making inroads on Esteban Gutierrez, so looks like I'm doing a little bit of a rain dance here. I don't mind the wet conditions. I think that's Pascal Wehrlein up in 11th place, holding down Gutierrez from getting in front of him. So my teammate is doing an absolutely stunning job at the moment, holding up Perez, Gutierrez, and now we're going to potentially pass him up the inside into this right-hander. Gutierrez leaves the space. He doesn't have any confidence in these intermediate conditions. And there we go. We can see the Manners running 11th and 12th place. So if anyone decides to retire or crash out or whatever, then we're going to have a Manor in the points on ultimate difficulty. That would just be absolutely outstanding. And now at the moment we're setting up a move on Pascal Wehrlein in the slipstream. No DRS to utilize in intermediate conditions. It would just be unsafe. But we are going to run side by side into this fast left-hander. I decided to back out of it there. It's very easy to lose the back end when you've got any kind of steering lock on your car. We made contact with our teammate right there. And wow, that was a scary moment. Side by side for the two Manners. And I'm pretty sure the team bosses would have been really holding their breath, probably on the verge of a heart attack, seeing us make contact in wet conditions like that. And as you can see on this behind shot, we make contact, wheel-to-wheel contact, and then myself and Pascal go, "Hey, how you doing, fella? Yeah, how's the wife and kids? Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Talk to you at the end of the race, Pascal. Cheers for the position. I'll see you later." So, yeah, that was just an absolutely crazy moment. I'm really enjoying racing with my teammate at the moment. The rivalry, I must say, between teammates has not been there in Formula 1 games, so it's very nice for a change to be very, very close on pace with your teammate for a change. And now lap 13, the very next lap, I did so well. I worked so hard to get in front of Pascal, and then I go and lock up the inside front tyre. He sneaks through, and I think from here I decided to do the usual strategy ploy, where I try and save a bit of fuel, let the car in front kind of do the work, even though he's in a manner. You know, I decided to just stick behind him anyway and save fuel, and just bide my time, because the gap to the car in front of Pascal is like 10 seconds, something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we're essentially fighting over 11th and 12th at the moment. Fingers crossed, or just praying that something happens to a car up ahead and maybe one of us will be in with a shout of scoring points. How incredible would that be to score points on ultimate difficulty? But either way, we're just still waiting for the rain to ease off a little bit. It's lap 15 at the moment, and the engineer said not too long ago that rain will be easing off in the next 5 minutes. So we're kind of just waiting for that dry period where I can switch on to dries and then run to the end of the race. So I'm just conserving at the moment, sitting behind Pascal, like I said, saving fuel. And then when it gets to the point where it's the crossover point, that's when I'm going to pass Pascal and then have the preference in terms of the pit stops. And it looks like I pulled the trigger now. Perfect timing, by the way, because there's a yellow flag. And if I would have done that any later, I would have been done for an illegal overtake. The car in front is Jenson Button. We move inside the points, and Pascal gets held up because of the yellow flag. Now, Pascal, I don't know why he was doing that, because Jenson was going so slow. He was the cause of the yellow flag, so there's no way that Pascal had to slow down for him.
The line is really dry enough yet to start thinking about slicks. Let's hold on to the inters for a while longer.
Yeah, that was, and looking at that right there, that is so cheeky. I was coming in for dry tyres. Engineer comes over the radio at the perfect time, says, "Stay out, mate. It's not dry enough yet." So I stayed out, and looks like the very next lap we're going to come in and put on a set of dry tyres. Jenson Button making absolutely no progress on his punctured tyre. I'm guessing that's what it was. So in the last 2 or 3 minutes, I have just had perfect timing. You know, getting in front of Pascal, timing it right, getting in front of Jenson with the yellow flags, and then Pascal, my teammate. You know, on one hand, you know, that's one less person that's going to overtake me, but on the other hand, it's my teammate. I would have liked to have seen him continue on behind me because of that yellow flag that Jenson caused. A lot of other AI cars behind me got held up because of that, and
The gap to the car behind is 29.0 seconds.
yeah, like I was saying, because of the yellow flag caused by Jensen, the gap is just monumental behind me, so there's absolutely no pressure from behind. And once I put on the dry tyres to run to the end of the race, it was just really cruise mode. I was down a little bit on fuel, so I pretty much put the car down in lean to run to the end of the race. I was getting lapped by Vettel, who is on form at the moment, going to win this race by an absolute mile. And yeah, here we go. I was just cruising to the finish. Nothing happened after the rain period ended. I was just bringing home my position. And here we go. We're going to come across the line in the Russian Grand Prix and score 2 points on ultimate difficulty.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
For my money, it's definitely the Manor driver. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
It was definitely the Manor driver. Thank you, Anthony Davidson. I don't know if I deserve that in all honesty, because all I did was avoid an accident on the first lap and get quite lucky here and there. I did drive well in the wet, and I clawed back the ground after I got the drive-through penalty. And yeah, brought it home to finish in 9th place. So pretty undeserving, I must say, those points there. But it's just, it's a huge shame, I must say, that Pascal got affected by Jenson Button and the yellow flag like he did. Because we could have had two Manors in the points there if it wasn't for that. But yeah, as you can see, driver standings, we move ourselves. No, this is the race director. I don't know what I was doing there. I was just checking what tyre compounds everyone was on at the end of the race. I opted for soft tyres, whereas everyone else was on super soft, so I was kind of slower than everyone else around me. So, driver standings now. We are down in 12th place. Sergio Perez overtook us after finishing in 8th place for the Russian Grand Prix there. So, yeah, bit of a kick to the teeth when your rival beats you by one position, and he's in a car that's much quicker than you are now. So, constructors standings, we are down in 7th place now. Again, Force India, because of Sergio Perez, have overtaken Manor, and I think for the rest of the season now, this is where Manor is going to stay in terms of the constructors standings. So, that's been the weekend. That's been the 4th episode of F1 2016 Career Mode Championship. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I am really going to get stuck in with the contest and the rivalry between myself and Pascal Wehrlein. I really want to get one over him now in qualifying because it was just so close after that last race. I'm actually really looking forward to the rest of the season now that it's much harder and it's going to be that much more of a grind. It's so much more realistic now, so hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed us getting even more points. That's 3 points finishes in a row, but I would almost bet the house on us not scoring points in a track like Spain. I don't think it's going to suit our car, so we'll have to wait and see. We've got the downforce upgrade for the monkey seat coming for the next race, so maybe that'll improve our performance a little bit. But like I said, we need to work really hard to get those resource points in the next practice session because we need those points to apply the next round of updates in terms of the front wing, the Cascade, and that's going to dramatically improve our downforce, and it's going to help at all those high downforce tracks like Monaco, when we go to Silverstone, Singapore. It's just going to overall make us as that much closer towards being a midfield kind of team. So I can't wait to get those upgrades on the car. After we surpass Monaco in the season, then we're going to prioritize the fuel, then engine, because we've got like high speed tracks coming up like Canada, then Austria, then Baku. So those kind of tracks, that's when we'll focus on the engine and the fuel efficiency and all that kind of thing. So thank you guys for watching. A very complex season. We've got a new challenge now that we are on ultimate difficulty. The rivalry between myself and Pascal is going to just kick up a gear, and it's going to be incredible for the rest of this career mode as well. I'm looking forward to bettering our car and then overtaking Sauber, possibly Renault in the next few races as well. So stay tuned for this journey. It is going to be a very fun and exciting time on the channel with this career mode series. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to see plenty more F1 2016 videos. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. That'll really help me out. And yeah, until my next video, guys, I'll see you next time.